today we are going to be doing a 30-minute flow mat class. So it's going to be a lot of your classic mat series, which always flows really nice together. I'm going to throw in some fun standing work towards the end, which will challenge your coordination, your balance, and your agility a little bit. So let's get started. We are going to have a seat with our legs extended out in front of us, and we're just going to find this posture, and we're going to breathe. So, finding your sit bones, I always like to kind of wiggle, pull the skin away a little bit. And then I'm going to drive my heels down, pull my toes up. I'm going to place one hand on my belly, one hand on my energetic heart, so right in the center of the chest. And I want you to just close the eyes if you feel comfortable. If not, just find that soft gaze down and out. And first, just noticing where you're feeling that breath go into the body. Most times when people start to pay attention to their breath and they're taking these mindful breaths, you're going to feel all of that up in your neck and your shoulders. So be patient, work the breath down into the belly, to the side ribs, to the back, and just kind of feel yourself melt because it feels really good. Smooth out the edges of the breath. So if you notice maybe it's a little sticky on that right side, really try to send that inhale into that right rib cage. Now that we've established more of that diaphragmatic breathing, I want you on your next inhale as we're grounding down through the heels to draw up through the crown of the head like there's a string pulling you up towards the heavens. The shoulders are relaxed down and back and the heart's forward. Good. Now reach those arms out in front of you. And as we exhale, we're going to start to roll ourselves down bone by bone to our laying flat. So as I do this, I want you to start to think about tucking the tailbone. Bring your pubic bone towards your sternum. So there's like a seatbelt around your hips, and that seatbelt's tightening as you lower down. You're going to find that hot spot where you want to like plop down, and you want to move smoothly through that area. Now, once we're down, the arms can press down to the ground. You're going to walk the feet in so they are, ankles and outside of the knees are aligned. And just feel your feet for a second. I want you to lift and separate your toes, and then I want you to plant your feet down. Pay attention, because this is going to come in later with the balance work that we're going to do. The base of your big toe, your pinky, and your heel. Slide the arms down, pull the shoulders down the spine. Now we're going to take 2 breaths here to just get established in this position. And as you're exhaling, you're going to think about zipping up a pair of pants, tightening that seatbelt around the hips, and drawing the ribs down. So we want to build our exhale from the bottom up. And with each exhale, you're going to feel yourself get more connected to your spine. In turn, the spine connects to the mat. While doing this, also add that upper body in. Press the arms in, feel your triceps engage, squeeze the armpits together, pull the shoulders down the spine a little bit more. Make sure that chin's tucked back towards the base of the skull so you have length in your neck. Next exhale, we're going to begin a little bit of a pelvic tuck. So as you start to scoop the abs, you're tucking the tailbone, you're imprinting the lower spine. Now, when you do this, a lot of people will feel their knees kind of pull out. So squeeze the inner thighs together, knees track forward. And then as you inhale, just breathe out of that pelvic tilt. Exhale, tuck, scoop those abs, rock back into that pelvic tilt. Each time, imagine that zipper or that seatbelt around the hip, just drawing your hip bones towards each other. That's your low transverse abs engaging, pelvic floor lifting. Try to keep the glutes soft here. So sometimes even placing your fingertips outside of your glutes or reaching down, make sure you're not clenching. So now holding this tilt, take an inhale under that shield we just put on. And then exhale, start to build that up bone by bone, pulling the ribs down, keeping that tension of your low abs so you don't feel it go into your lower back. So our first bridge here, I want you to think about tracking the knees forward over the toes. So you're pulling up out of those hips. Arms are still pressing down. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, start to tuck and scoop the abs, rolling back down. I kind of like to think of like a hollowing sensation as you lower down, trying evenly to land those hips down. Take an inhale at the bottom. We disengage for a moment. Exhale, you begin again. Tuck, scoop, roll up. We're going to do 4 of these. Take a quick inhale at the top. Exhale, rolling back down. think of this as like a little spine massage because that's what it feels like. Taking your time working through those sticky areas. You're gonna feel a spot where it's not as smooth rolling down. That's where you wanna spend a little extra time, little more breath into that area. So maybe you pause, take an inhale into it, and then exhale, finish the roll down. Now we're gonna do another roll up to a bridge, and we're gonna hold this bridge at the top. Exhale, building up, making sure those knees point forward like railroad tracks. Now, keeping all of the weight in the left foot, pick the right heel up and then lift the right foot so we're in a single leg bridge. We're gonna hold this first one just because I wanna kick everything on that left side. Point the toes or flex the ankles, either works. Just keep some sort of engagement at that foot. Then we're gonna place the right down. We're squeezing the right, we're bracing through that side before we pick up the lift or the left so we don't have like huge weight shift happening. Okay, holding here. And again, these first ones just a little longer. We wanna activate, we wanna hold. Now we're gonna move through 4 on each side. So exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Good, we've got 2 left on each side. Keep pressing those arms into the ground. Let your torso help out here. Good. Keeping the foot engaged, so either point the toe or flex the ankle. Last one. Now I'm actually gonna have us lift that right foot up, hold it here. Extend that right leg up, push through the heel. Maybe roll the ankle around a little bit. Now we're gonna inhale, lower that right leg down. Exhale, lifting it up, keeping those hips nice and solid, locked in. We've got 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna bend that right knee back to tabletop, place it down just as carefully as we were doing. Left comes up, that weight's transferred. Extend that left leg up, point or flex. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, lift it up. And we could even do a little back and forth. We could point down, flex up, get a little glide going. 2, 3, and 4. Bend that knee back in, place it down. Tuck, scoop, and lower down. Think that seatbelt around the hips again. Once the hips are down, you feel secure, we're gonna pick one foot up at a time, squeeze and hug the knees together. So that brings us into just the slightest little bit of internal rotation, engaging those inner thighs, and then we're gonna take those arms up towards the ceiling. Now we're gonna curl up from the top. So as you exhale, tuck the chin to the chest, curl up, reach the arms long by the side, even touch the mat, and then inhale, lower back down. So option 1, we're gonna stay here with the legs. Option 2, we're gonna take the legs to 90, and then option 3, we're gonna reach to that third position, and then the challenge is to try to keep the legs in that position as we're lowering and as we're lifting. No movement, give me 2 more. Find the shakes, embrace the shakes. Last one. Now, draw the knees into the chest, and we're setting up for our first series into that single knee stretch. So, chin tuck slightly, upper body, basically the head, the neck, and the upper rib cage is staying very still. We're gonna extend and reach that left leg out. I'm gonna slide my hands as low on that right leg as I can, and I want you to just hold this for a second. Feel this posture. Your abs should be burning right now. If you have to take a break, go ahead and then join me again. Take an inhale, exhale, switch. Inhale, exhale, switch. Now, as you're switching from side to side, only the knees are flexing and extending. The rest of my body, other than my arms, is stable. Keeping that chin like there's a banana underneath of it. And we've got 3, 2, 1. Now we're gonna move to the double knee. So we're gonna take an inhale, reach away from the midline. Exhale, sweep the arms around, grab as low on the legs as you can, lift up a ½ inch more. Inhale, reach around. Exhale, point. Your gaze point should be right around your belly button or your pelvis to help that chin tuck position, to activate more through that front line. And as you reach those arms back, it's like taking off a top hat and then throwing it out to the side. Good, 2, 1. Now, lower down. Give yourself a rest there. That takes some endurance. We're gonna move into a little bit of a windshield wiper, so take your feet out to the edges, and then just rock those knees a little side to side. Just back and forth, breathe through it. We'll do 2 times on each side, and then we're gonna get right back into that dead bug position. Moving into our single leg stretch. So we'll lift the feet, hips are stable, core is active, seatbelts on, reach those arms up. And then as you exhale, you're gonna lift, tuck chin, lift head, neck, shoulders. Now I want you to reach the right leg up, left leg goes down, then take the hands, lace as close to that right ankle as you can and just hold, okay? Take a nice inhale, and as you exhale, reach and grab the left. Exhale, reach and grab the right. And just keep that breath going, trying to keep that body as stable as you can. 3 to go. 3, 2, 1. Now both legs are gonna lower. I'm gonna use my hands to support the weight of the head. Inhale up, or inhale down, exhale up for 8, 7, 6. This is where that burn starts to come in. 5, 4, 3, 2. From there, I'm gonna bend the knees. I'm gonna extend that left leg back out. I'm gonna rotate my left shoulder towards my right knee, and I'm gonna hold this. Now, this is where it gets challenging because we're rotating through the upper body, but that lower body is staying stable. Pelvis, lumbar spine, trying to stay as stable as we rotate side to side. This is slow, controlled bicycle, not fast. I'm thinking about not letting my elbow cross the midline right now, more about bringing my shoulder towards the knee rather than elbow towards the knee. 2 more each side for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back to the center and lower down. Now, we should definitely be burning through that middle section and ready to stretch that out. So we're gonna roll or take the legs straight out, reach the arms overhead. Now, you're gonna feel that natural curve of your lower back right now. Ribs may flare as you take the arms overhead. So what I want you to do is pull the ribs down, hips towards each other, and notice if that changes the position of your arms. On your next exhale, chin to the chest, you're gonna roll yourself up, press down through the heels, and then I want you to reach right out past those toes or as close to it as you possibly can. And then we're gonna cross at the ankles and we're gonna come into a quadruped position. So shoulders are gonna stack right over the wrists, okay? And then I want you to move through 2 cat-cows. And I like to tuck the toes, it's totally up to you. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, I want you to scoop the abs. So let this flexion initiate from your lower abs and work its way up. And then tailbone lifts and you work your way back into extension of the spine, gazing up. Again, begin at the bottom. Let that lower flexion dictate the rest. Press the ground away from you. Moving through into that cow 1 more time. And then pull it back to neutral spine. So from here, we're going to move through just 2 bird dogs on each side. I just love how this kind of resets. So first thing I want you to do is lift up low belly, kick the right leg back, left arm out, and we're just gonna hold for a moment, okay? And you can untuck the toes, you can have flat foot, whatever works for you. Zip up that low belly, push back through that right heel. Now drag down as slowly as you can. Switch to the other side. I gotta pick a thing, either tuck the toe or untuck it. Good. And then exhale, dragging it back down. So I like inhale away from the midline. Exhale back to the midline. Last one. Good. Now from here, you're gonna lower down onto the belly, and we're gonna do a little bit of work to just kind of push out or stretch out everything that we just did. So bringing your hands right under your shoulders, we're gonna do a press up. So I like to wiggle the hips a little bit side to side to relax the glutes. On your exhale, use your arms like you're doing a weird push up and press up. Take a breath here. And then just lower back down. Perfect. Now, keep the arms more like a field goal now. And I want you to tuck that chin, holding that imaginary banana. And then think about pubic bone in, but try to lift the belly button off of the mat. From there, core is engaged, squeeze the glutes, lift the legs, and then hover the arms. So I want you, more than like lifting the legs as high as you can, think about like a lift and a reach back, like someone's pulling on your ankles. Now on your inhale, I want you to reach the arms overhead. And as you exhale, I want you to squeeze and pull the arms down into the sides of the body. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull and squeeze. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull and squeeze. We're gonna do 2 more. Last one. Now extend those arms out to the side. Open the legs wide, and then I want you to squeeze and pull into the body. Inhale, open, so a little snowman here. Exhale, squeeze into the body. We've got 8. There's 3, 4. Now make sure you're not crunching through the neck, so keep that length. Again, I love the cue of either a tennis or a banana under the chin. Just kind of something really tactile to remind you of that alignment. Good, last one. And then from here, you're just gonna go ahead and roll over onto one of your sides here. Now, I'm gonna set up and I'm gonna make a little pillow out of my bicep. And I'm gonna pull my belly. It's like we wanna pull away from the mat, not sink into it. And that's where the hard part comes. So if this feels really hard for you to balance, I'm gonna have you bend that bottom knee as a modification. Otherwise, we're gonna keep the legs straight. I'm gonna flex the ankle. I'm gonna lift up as I exhale, down as I inhale. And as I pull down, I want you to imagine like you're pushing down into mud and then lifting out of mud. So even if you don't have a band or any kind of like ankle weight to give yourself some resistance, you can create that. Good, we have 3 left. We're doing 8. Again, always checking in, seeing if I can lift off of the ground. Even if you're not able to lift, just the trying to do it is gonna get you there. Now, this last one, I'm gonna keep that leg up so I'm about hip height. I'm gonna point and extend my bottom leg. I'm keeping this bottom leg as straight as I can. I'm gonna lift up, try to tap the top leg, and then come back down. So exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Here we go, and just that pause at the top that's gonna show that you have the control. Really resist the urge to bend the knee because then you're pulling from like this weird angle. We wanna lift all from that inner thigh. Last one, now we're gonna lift and hold. I'm gonna take this top arm overhead and then I'm gonna take that bottom arm out. Now just doing this is hard enough. Now inhale, let everything come down. Steeple the fingers together, exhale, lift. Try not to float backwards as much as you can. We're only gonna do 4 of these. Side lying banana, there's 2. Ooh, these are fun. 3, and 4. Now I'm gonna prop up to my elbow. So you can choose to end up doing hip series here, but I always like to start on the bicep. It just helps with the alignment. So from this position, option 1, bottom knee is gonna stay down for side plank. Option 2, bottom knee is gonna lift. We're gonna reach that top arm up regardless, roll the shoulder back, press the hips forward, lock it in. Now, take an inhale, I'm gonna reach my arm over my head, bicep by my ears. I pike my hips up, and then I'm coming back down. And you can kind of use that top leg to kind of press away from the ground. That's gonna give you more of a side pike. You have 2 more. Good, last one. And then from here, I'm gonna shift. You're gonna see my back, which will help with alignment here. And I'm actually gonna go right into those side planks. So I'm starting here. Again, you can have that bottom knee bent. I'm gonna press my hips forward. Now I'm gonna inhale, sweep overhead, pike the hips. Exhale, come back to neutral. Lift up, use that top foot if you need to. You can also do it from a stack position, which makes it harder. Good, last one. Now, just for the sake of seeing you guys, I'm just gonna flip myself around this way and do that side laying series here. So making that pillow with my bicep, get myself set. I'm gonna lift and pull up my lower side from the mat. And again, you can have that knee bent. Flexing the ankle, I'm gonna lift up as I exhale. Inhale, lower, create your resistance. So imagine like quicksand, mud. So I'm pulling up from that and then being squeezed down by the weight of it. Good. But this is hard enough by keeping that shoulder back, pelvis forward, oblique lifted. There's a lot going on. 2 more. Last one, we're gonna keep it up and we're holding. Now, squeeze and lift that lower leg and hold just for a moment and then take it down. Point the toe, keep the leg as straight as you can. So this is really targeting more of our adductors, inner thigh, internal hip work there. Here's 4. exhale, lift. 5, 6, 7. Woo. Now we're gonna hold on this 8th one. I'm gonna take the top arm, I'm gonna lift it overhead. Bottom arm's gonna lift. If you can do this smoothly, awesome. Lace the fingers together or steeple them. Let everything come towards the ground. Now I'm framing my head with my arms, and I'm gonna exhale, lift. I'm trying to stay on my side, not roll back. Inhale, come back down. 4 to 8 of these. I'm gonna do 4. Whoops, lost it a little there. Last one. Perfect. And then I'm rolling back. We're rolling back to our belly. Now, from here, I'm gonna prop up on my elbows. I'm gonna pull my shoulders back, and I'm gonna bring my legs right next to each other. So the idea here is we have this nice little extension. I'm keeping some ab tension, those upper abs. And then I'm gonna start by kicking one leg in, like I'm trying to drag my heel into my butt to squeeze my hamstrings. So single knee kicks, and the breath is down, inhale. Quick little pulse, exhale. Now, as long as you can keep your hips stable so you're not wobbling all over, as you do this, try double knee, down. So, if you have a ball, you wanna add a ball here and pulse not only back, but in. That's gonna make it even more challenging. Good, 2 more. And again, create that resistance for the hamstrings. Now from this position, I'm gonna tuck my toes, I'm gonna zip up my low belly, and I'm gonna lift to a plank. Holding from this low plank position, we're just breathing under this tension. So I want you to send that breath into the side ribs. We're gonna be here for about 8 breaths, which is actually, for drawing the exhales out, can be like over 30 seconds, but we're, for the sake of everything we've already done, we'll make it about half of that. Now, as carefully as you can, so if that means you have to set your knees down, we're gonna press up to the hands. So we're in this high plank. Adjust yourself there. Now I'm gonna shift my hips up to a down dog. I'll walk my feet in a little bit, and then I'm gonna press my heels down. Now, this is where we're gonna get into a little bit of balance, coordination, some agility work. So I'm gonna sweep my knee in towards my elbow on the right side into this 3-legged plank or 1-legged plank. Then I'm gonna sweep it back up for 3-legged dog. Then this is gonna come between the hands, and I'm gonna stand up. Now, give yourself a second, press that left hip forward, make sure the ribs are down. Now I'm gonna drive through this front leg, pick this foot up, hold it, and then I'm gonna take it right back down. We're gonna do 4 of those. And then down, 3, down, 4, down. Now I'm gonna unwind, put my hands back down, not really unwind, just put them back down. And I'm gonna sweep this leg right back into my 3-legged dog. Open up if that feels good, bend the knee, whatever you wanna do here for a moment. And then we're gonna pull that knee back in towards the elbow and hold. 3, 2, 1, step it back. Good, you can always rest here if you need to. We're gonna move right into the other side. So from down dog, find that nice long spine, press the ribs towards the thighs, send the heels down, sit bones lift up. I tend to have some tightness in my lower spine, so I really got to work towards that extension. Always inviting extension in. Now I'm going to draw this left knee towards the elbow. 3, 2, 1. Then I'm going to sweep it back, drawing that heel down. Then I'm going to shift in between the hands, reach up. Now, driving off this front leg, pick it up, and you can do gate arms or whatever's going to help you balance. Back down. I just like to move my arms like a running posture. Once you're here, pausing for that second, pulling that heel up, toes towards you, showing you have that good control. Last one. Good, and then we're gonna come back down. I'm gonna place my hands either side of that foot. I'm gonna step back into that 3-legged dog. And then one last time, we're gonna draw elbow into knee. 3, 2, 1. Step back to that high plank. And I'm going to lower down and take one last little press up. So my hands are right by my shoulders. Wiggle the hips. Make sure you're not squeezing your glutes too tight, because we want this to be passive range of motion for the spine. passive extension. Good. Now we're going to start to wind it down. So from this position, we're going to rock back into child's pose. Could even be puppy dog pose. Fold your hands, let your forehead rest, and I want you to take a few nice deep breaths. Taking advantage of ourselves being a little more compressed in the front to send that air into the low back. So trying to expand as low as you can. Like the waistband around your pants, or if it was even lower, try to stretch that out as you inhale. Good. Now, we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of just like rotation stuff here. So I'm going to have us come back into a quadruped position. Lift that chest up. We're going to inhale, sweep that arm up, and then exhale. We're going to come through, and we're going to actually add a little pigeon stretch to this here in a moment. But I like to get this rotation warm first. And then inhale, press off, lift up. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, take it underneath. Try to get that whole side of the head down. Good. And then unwind. Okay, so moving into pigeon, I kind of like to start pigeon from down dog or plank. So we're going to draw the right knee towards the chest. We're going to cross it across the body so the shin is close to parallel with the mat. Most often, hips are tight, so it's going to angle back down. Now we're going to take that right arm again. We're going to sweep it up. This is a nice stretch for the left side. And then come all the way back down. So now we're getting right side. We're getting our right hip. We're getting our right shoulder. Breathing into the side. Good. And then we're going to unwind, press back up, lift that left knee, slide the right back. Left comes forward. Okay, get yourself set, kind of shift into the right hip almost. So almost the opposite hip that you're trying to stretch, because if you lean into, you actually lose the stretch. So inhale, we're gonna reach up, and then exhale. Take it under, drop to the side of that head. And you can be here as long as you'd like. So if you wanna even revisit those and go back through. Good. Awesome. Unwind. And actually, I'm just going to have us roll onto that left hip. I'm going to turn and face the camera. We're going to end with a little bit of side opening. So mermaid stretch, we're going to fold our right leg in front, left leg by the side. Open those arms to a T. I want you, like someone's pulling on your wrist, to shift into that right. And you're going to sweep over, left over. Now use this time, and even if you want to put your hand here, this area right where my hand's at, bottom of like where your bra line is, I want you to try to expand that as much as you can. This is that side rib breathing. And then with the reach of the arm, it's just even yummier. And then as we exhale, we're going to push over to the opposite side. Just breathing in. Now, if you're a little tighter, that shoulder's going to roll forward, so pull it back. Even if that means that you're more up here, I'd rather it be like this than like this. We want to reach, reach, reach. Just enjoy that stretch. Good. And then we'll switch to the other side. So sit tall, find those sit bones, reach the arms out, into that left, drop down. I like to fold at the elbow, pull that shoulder back. Again, find that expansion here. Good. And then exhale, press off, opposite side, reach. And then depending on how tight you are, like I feel this go down to the front of that hip because I have some hip tightness. Good. And then let's go ahead and just lay back down, or you can be seated. And I'm going to take us through just like 90 seconds of just a little release here. So I prefer not to have the knees up because your body's holding on to that. So just kind of let your feet come together, knees out. If that's uncomfortable, legs can be straight out. I mean, really, whatever position goes. Just try not to cross the arms or the legs. Let's float the palms up so we're in receiving mode. Make sure that your jaw's unhinged, your forehead's relaxed. And then I want you to take a breath in through the nose to a count of 4. Then we're going to hold it for 4. Then we exhale 4. And then hold 4 again. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time. Inhaling. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then just release that breathing exercise. Place one hand heart, one hand belly. And just be for a few moments. Stay in your body. Your body should already be kind of in that down regulation state, but if it's not and your breathing pattern quickened through some of those things at the end, just be here right now. Good. And then we'll pull the knees towards the chest. Give yourself a little hug, a little rock side to side, and you guys are all done. You did fantastic. I hope you enjoyed that flow, just a little bit of balance there at the end, and hope to see you back.